I want the Yankees to sign some big name players and make some big trades when the lockout ends. But let's go into a world where that doesn't happen. Let's hope we don't have to live in this world. But let's imagine a world where the Yankees don't sign anyone. They don't make any more trades. Let's talk about what the Yankees can do to improve this team with their current roster. So if you like these videos, then please subscribe. Let's get into it. Now, number 1. Making Nestor Cortez Jr. a relief pitcher instead of a starter. I think we can all agree. Cortez was one of the bright stars in this Yankees team over the last year, where we really didn't have much to be happy about. He pitched in 93 innings and put up a sub-3 ERA, struck out a ton of batters, had a funky delivery. He was fantastic. I don't think he's going to be able to replicate what he did in 2021, and I think the Yankees would be very smart to move him into the bullpen. Now, first off, he had a 2.9 ERA, which is fantastic, but he also had a 3.78 FIP, which is fielding independent pitching. So he got a little bit lucky on the balls that were put into play, and I think that luck he won't be as lucky next season, and his ERA will rise. So, why do I think he should go into the bullpen? Well, first off, as a starter, he had a 685 OPS against, and as a relief pitcher, he had a 560 OPS against. Clear noticeable difference there. He pitched better in the bullpen. Why is this? A good question. You can look at stats, and they give you a lot of numbers, but why are the numbers this way? And then I think I figured it out. It's because of Nestor Cortez's reliance on being tricky, when he's pitching and fooling the batter. And when he's a starter and he faces batters more times through the order, they start to see some of his tricks and get used to it and adapt. Whereas when he's a relief pitcher, he only versus an order one time or maybe even 2 times through if he's a long relief pitcher, which I think he should be if I didn't clarify that. I think he should be a long relief pitcher. But as a long relief pitcher, he's only versing going through the lineup once, maybe 2 times if needed. And it's a lot harder to get used to his delivery then if you're not seeing him multiple times. And the stats back this up. In his first time through a lineup as a starting pitcher, batters had an OPS of 640 against him. And their second time through the order, 588 OPS against. Third time through the order, an OPS of 1,021. The clear difference there. They see Cortez the third time through, and they hit him hard. He can't go beyond the 4th or 5th inning of a ball game. If you watched Yankees games a lot, you notice this. He got tired, and batters picked up on this. So have Cortez as a long relief pitcher. Please, Yankees. Next, not having a permanent designated hitter. Not having one guy who's DHing every single day and not playing him if he's not DHing. Cough, cough, Giancarlo Stanton. At the start of the season, the Yankees only had Stanton as a DH. This was kind of stupid. He's a professional athlete. He can play the field. And he needs to play the field next season if the Yankees want to be serious about winning. First, you're taking away DH times from other players. Aaron Judge needs to DH. Joey Gallo does. Luke Voigt, assuming he's on the Yankees. Gary Sanchez. All of them have really good bats and are big guys who cannot play every single day because they could break down. We don't want them getting injured. So not having someone locked in as a DH allows you to give players more common days off while at the same time keeping that bat in the lineup. Also, Giancarlo Stanton plays better when he's in the field. As a DH in 108 games, he had an OPS of 843. As a left fielder in 10 games, he had an OPS of 1,065. And as a right fielder, he had an OPS of 968 in 16 games. So, not a big sample size there. But again, Stanton talked about this. He talked about how, as a DH, he would get fixated over a single at bat where he struck out, and he would keep that with him through the next one, and it would negatively affect him. Whereas when he had to play in the field, it got his mind off of that previous at bat. He was ready for the next one. So please, Yankees, don't have one guy as your only DH. Have Stanton play the field and give guys proper rest. And my third and final thing is moving Gleyber Torres to second base and generally taking more risks with your roster. Torres was bad. It was pretty bad in 2021. He was coming off of coming off of seasons where he was a great hitter, hitting 30 plus home runs. And then in 2021, he hit 9 home runs and had no PS below 700. Just not good. Not what you want to see from one of your star young players. I think the Yankees should move him to second base for a couple of reasons. First, he can't play shortstop. He's horrible there. The eye test set confirms this. The numbers confirm it. Why have him at a position as important as shortstop, where you need good defense? Just does not make any sense in the world. I think we should move him to second. In 2021, in 19 games at second base, he hit 300 with a 372 on base percentage, 443 slugging, and an OPS of 815. As a shortstop, he hit 251 with a 319 on base percentage, 351 slugging, and an OPS of 671. I don't think he'll hit 300 just because he's playing at second base. But I do think it will help take some of that pressure off of him. Because if you're the starting shortstop for the New York Yankees, that's a lot. It's a lot on your plate right there versus being the second baseman. So I think it would be beneficial to move him to second base. And also just take more risks, Yankees. At the start of the season, you were resting players every other day. You weren't really treating it as a playoff push. You were treating it as, let's have our guys rested, and then when we get to the playoffs, we'll actually try. Well, you almost didn't make the playoffs. How about we try in the regular season and not have to have a sprint in the final couple of weeks where you don't even know if we're going to make it? So those are the 3 things that I would do to help the Yankees with their current lineup. Tell me what you think. Tell me if I'm missing anything in the comments.